Hi everybody, Emilie here for Hip Kit Club, and today we are looking at the weekly challenge with this beautiful sketch that was designed by Yankee, and just my take around over it. So it's a fairly simple layout that I have created this week. I'm in the middle of moving house, so I am working with a minimum amount of tools. And I decided to use the sketch and follow it fairly closely. So I love those layer strips of paint that she has on the sketch, and I decided to reuse that and repeat that with the shimmers inklings that we had part of the color kit this month. I used that beautiful pink. I think that's one of my new favorite color. I absolutely love that color. It works a little bit like watercolor for any one of you that don't know or haven't used inklings before. So you just wet it and just use it with a paintbrush. So it's just like watercolor really. I then decided to focus my layout over that layer card that came from the Pocket Life kit. So it's all about recalling all the best bit of 2020, because at the end of the day 2020 has been a tough year for many of us. For some people it's been tougher than for others, and I just, there's so much negativity around about 2020, and I wanted to recall the positive side and have a bit of flyness about it, because at the end of the day, even though it's been a tough year, it's not been just dark and gloom and negative. There's been some positive side on it, and just looking on the bright side rather than on the shadowy part. So I said that for me, my positive bit was, the time spent with my family. It's also to find a new home, so we're obviously moving. There was also the fact that my brother just had a baby, a little Jade, so that's one of the positive. I've also been finding my faith, and I've just, I was added to the Hip Kit Club family, and that was a massive positive for me, and I keep focusing back on that when I think of 2020 being a gloom year. Well, actually, no, there's been some positive, and I've had some amazing opportunities in 2020. So all in all, it has some positive bits. I decided to break open the stamp kit. I love those snowflakes, and same again, I wanted to stick quite closely to the sketch by Yankee, who had snowflakes falling down, and I went with that colour scheme of pink, blue and some black, just repeating that layer card. My layout was really mostly focused around that layer card. I then added some layer snowflakes in that kind of peary green that was part of the kit, but I didn't quite like it on this layout, and you'll see later on I go back on it and I change it. But I just, when sometimes you say, I shouldn't have done that. Well, that was one of those of I shouldn't have done that. But there's a way to fix it, and I'll show you how. I then used this layer pockets that was part of the main kit. I thought that was a great addition. I also went for this cute layer photo. So this cute layer photos is not from 2020, and it's not of the new year. But however, sometimes it's also good to scrapbook overall feelings using a photo that's not related, but that gives you that feeling that's just there to illustrate what you're talking about. And I adore this photo. I think this photo represented a bit of the craziness of 2020. It represented the fun and the joy as well, the time with my family. And yeah, it was for more illustrating purposes rather than recording the event, because you can't it's difficult to put just a 4-year over just done with one photo. And I think it's okay sometimes to just use a photo that you love and that you think represent the overall feeling or mood that you want to convey in your layout, and that was one of those. So I mounted that photo onto some gorgeous pattern paper, and then I added it to my layout with some double-sided sticky foam paste for added volume. I decided afterwards to add some more elements of florals. So I pulled quite a lot of the florals and decided to go still with that colours of pinks and blacks. Still working on with the pocket, with the painting on the background and the snowflakes. I kind of pull back those colours and I just use that overall colour scheme of pinks and blacks with maybe the odd blue here or there or grey. I then decided to add a few more elements here and there. I glued the strings in place so that it looks like it's just fallen there, but it stays where it is. And this is where I fixed my snowflakes. So I noticed that the biggest enamel dots were the same size as the smallest snowflakes. So I just went around and I covered my greeny pear green snowflakes with my little dots of enamels. Now the enamels on their own, they looked a bit like big and out of place, and this is where I layer some other elements on that strips on the left hand side to try and make it all fit together and so that it doesn't look as lonely anymore. And you'll see I'm going to add a bit more to it even later on. We are now looking at adding some more elements. I wanted to create a bit of an explosion. I thought that pocket needed a bit of something, and as my main journaling was on the tag on the left hand side, I didn't feel that it needed an extra bit of journaling inside the pocket. I was quite happy with what I had written and what I had recorded, so I wanted to create a bit of an explosion of flowers coming out of the pocket. It's just an idea that came up just like that in the middle of creating the layout, and I went with it and I'm really happy with how it looks. It's just kind of that image of 2020 being that pocket, and it's just that explosion of flowers that come out of it. And yeah, I'm trying to really focus on the fact that there is some positive in all of it, and it's just trying to find it and unfold it, and yeah, trying to dig it out and look at it in as much as possible in a bright side. I know it's not the same for everybody, but sometimes it's what they say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So yeah, that's what I was going for with this one. I'm then finishing it off with a few added wording. I thought it needed a little bit, an extra layer something, so I added some of the blue words around my layout, and as usual I use my visual triangle so that it focused back around to the photograph, using wording that would fit with the overall theme of my layout. And I then added one last layer snowflake underneath my title just to make it all fit together. And there you are, that's the final layout for this sketch challenge. I hope you'll take part. I've used the December kits for this layout, which is absolutely stunning. I think it's sold out, but you can now register for the January kit, so have a look in the shop, and I hope you're lucky enough to get your hands on it. It's absolutely stunning. So thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye.